The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is presenting certificates of return to 101 senators who've emerged winners from the February 25th National Assembly elections. So far, INEC has declared 101 out of 109 senatorial seats in the upper chamber. The electoral umpire will conduct 7 supplementary elections in Kebbi North, in Plateau Central, the entire Sokoto State, Yobe South, and Zamfara Central. There are currently just 2 female senators out of the 101 senators who will be receiving their certificates of return. Our correspondent Terry Kumi is standing by to give us an up-to-date report on that presentation. Good morning, Terry.
Hello, Olumide. Good morning. Yes, this is where collation of the presidential elections held, and it's quite a joyous mood here. Today and tomorrow, federal lawmakers who won their elections would be handed their certificate of return, and we'll begin with the Senate today. I must say that I see quite a number of new faces here today. So far, 101 senators will be handed certificates of return today, as against 109, which is supposed to be the total number, and that's because in 8 constituencies there will be supplementary elections according to the electoral umpire, not to mention the death in Enugu East Senatorial District. If I could just give you a quick update of where the supplementary elections will take place. That will be in Kebbi North, Plateau Central, the entire Sokoto State, of course, then Yobe South and Zamfara Central. A look at the statistics from the INEC data shows that out of the 101 senators that will be handed certificates of return today, only 2 are female, and this is abysmal to the numbers compared to what we saw in the 9th Senate, where we had 6 senators. So I have 2 guests that I'll be speaking with today. One of them is Mrs. Ireti Kingibe, the one who upset the elections in FCT to beat the man they call the landlord of the FCT, Senator Philip Duda. Mrs. Ireti Kingibe is here with me. Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
I'd like to congratulate you, first of all, on winning this election. I had a conversation with you just before the elections, and I asked you a question as to how possible or otherwise it would be to defeat someone like Senator Philip Duda, who is regarded as the landlord of the FCT. How does it make you feel that you're standing here today waiting to receive this certificate of return instead of him?
Well, fulfilled and pleased that I achieved my goal of changing the leadership of the FCT. So I do feel fulfilled.
But if you look at the situation here, where you have a number of new lawmakers, and you have just 2 women here, how does that make you feel as well?
Well, actually, I think we have 5. I think we're supposed to have 5.
Supposed to. There are supplementary elections pending then, but for now, just 2 women have been named by the electoral umpire.
Oh, okay.
Well, regardless, 2 or 5 is still abysmal, isn't it?
No, it is a great shame. I really was appalled at how few women there were going into the Senate. That must change somehow, but we must change the narrative.
Well, with regard to women participation in politics and the Senate, what sort of attention do you think women would get in the Senate, considering that very scanty number?
Well, women are people. It depends on the personality of the woman and what she intends to achieve. I think that I will achieve the things I want to achieve in the National Assembly and in the Senate.
So if I ask you now that the FCT has entrusted you with a huge responsibility, taking away one of their own, what would you offer the people going in as quickly as possible?
Correction, I am also one of their own. FCT belongs to everybody, and I will give even better than the person that I took away.
Time. We also have Dr. Mrs. Harry Palibo Banigo. If you recall correctly, she is the Deputy Governor of Rivers State, and PDP swept the entire seats in Rivers State. She's here to speak to us about her ambition, but appears to be engaged at this moment. But if you can hear me clearly, Olumide, let me just say clearly that the mood here is quite joyous. There seems to be some kind of camaraderie among the members of the Senate here. As I said earlier, we would be having the House of Representatives come up tomorrow.
Yes, Terry, we saw Mrs. Kingibe as you were just speaking to her, and she's looking forward to the presentation. Tell us, at what point are you at the ceremony? When are they presenting these certificates of return? And what will be the next step?
Well, the scheduled time was for 11 o'clock, and it's past 11 now. The INEC chairman isn't here. The senators are still arriving. The Senate president has just arrived as well, so we're hoping that this would commence any moment now. But as at this moment, the ceremony is yet to commence.
Thank you, Terry. Our correspondent at the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, Terry Ekumi, on the presentation of certificates of return to the new senators, 101 in number out of 109.